Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to episode number 13. Time to get to some of the things that have been neglected while I was dealing with the side yard. So, I gotta start with the pool. I gotta get this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna head out front. Let's just get going. I think this is going to be the hottest day of the year so far. We're looking at 90-ish degrees in mid-March, mid to late March, but so it overheated. I did finish up the pool. It looks a bit better, but ultimately that's going to be a big project because I got to get rid of the algae that's in the pool. It just got out of hand and I got so busy with so many other things, but that's life. It happens almost every year anyway. And we know what to do. We've got the yellow out. We're going to go through that whole process, which is lots of vacuuming and sweeping and chemicals to try and get things back in balance. The yellow out should kill the algae, breaking down the filters a couple of times just to get the stuff out of the system, and then we'll keep going. But meanwhile, I got to deal with the front yard. I haven't mowed the lawn. I haven't cleaned up the debris in the front yard in a long time, so let's get to it. That was a lot of work. I've sucked in a lot more pollen, I'm sure, and dust. So we'll see if I'm sick tomorrow, but front and backyard are done. I still need to do some cleaning inside. Hopefully tomorrow, the next day, I can get back to actually the swimming pool. But that's it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Good Friday morning to you. Well, it's been a couple of days and the pool's already dirty again. But that's kind of what we're going to be dealing with here. So let's go ahead and give it another vacuum, another sweep, and check the chemicals and see what we can do to start balancing. Well, I'm standing in the shade. I'm getting a little tired of this overheating problem. I'm going to have to figure that out. But I did finish up, and I checked the chemicals, and the pH is right about where we need it, but the chlorine seems to be non-existent. So I'll consult with the expert, and we'll figure out what to do. But that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Sunday morning to you. Different way to kind of start the video, start that shot. We haven't looked at the garden this year yet after seeds were planted because we only just planted them. But here we are, what, about 5 days later? Let's take a look. Splits, got to get rid of those, but let's just start up on the top level. You know what, let's start on the bottom level. I'll climb up to the top. Nasturtium is doing well. I did notice, and I'm hoping it'll come through, I've got some tiny little sprouts here in the lettuce raised garden planter thingy. That's good. I've got my, oh, which one is this? This is the bush bean, the contender, that I started as a seedling back in January. It took forever to pop, but it's still alive. That's a good thing. Let's see, nothing quite yet with the cucumber and the dill, but again, less than a week. These are still doing well. Oh wow, I saw this yesterday and I thought it was kind of nice, but that's even more than I thought. And it looks like maybe the rows are growing, not so much the, well, there's lettuce. Well, I don't know. I've got to label everything still, but I'm happy to see sprouts. There's a leaf I can get rid of. Nasturtium's doing well there. That nasturtium's doing really well, but I never really touched it. It doesn't look like much happening here. Well, maybe. That's probably a bladed grass behind the straight neck there. Moving over, we've got the 8-ball zucchini. That was a seedling also. So that is still alive. That is good news. Looking at the patty pan, it looks almost like there might be something back there, but you know what? Let me climb up. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of these splits. Let's see if I need this one-handed. Nope. I moved the camera when I did that. I got another one. Alright. I usually don't have very good aim. Okay. Up here, that was not a sprout. I don't think. That is just a random leaf that happens to be up here. But it gives us an opportunity to come up even further. We'll check on the two peppers. Those are doing well. I got 2 bags I still haven't planted. We got the onion not looking perfect, but I like this. I think there's going to be a flower. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't just throw it away. I'm just curious to see what that's going to end up looking like. Now we've got tomato plant doing well, and both of our bell pepper plants are doing well. Nothing in that pot yet. Got to figure that out, but that's essentially what things are looking like from up here. Now let's go back down. Alright, today I got to get a bunch of little things done. Among them, I think I need to pick the rest of the tangerines off this tree, at least the best I can. I was probably going to end up cutting a bunch of branches because I just can't get to them from down below. I'm not going to go set up a ladder. I have fallen off ladders too many times. So it's just going to take what it's going to take, and I'm going to try and get as much of this as I can. I did pick a 5-gallon bucket a couple of days ago, and then yesterday I squeezed a whole bunch of them. And it's amazing how little juice you get. They're juicy when you eat them by themselves, but trying to juice them, it's not as effective. But the beauty is I can take the ones that the less desirable ones, the ones that are kind of green or really small, that people wouldn't be so interested in, but they still make perfectly good juice. So let's get that going. Alright, so that took a little bit. I'll show you the end result. There's still a bunch of them up there. I don't know if that's another 5-gallon bucket, but this is what I managed to get off of there, and I did trim the tree back a bit. The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking right on the front of the tree here, I could stand to take a little more off. Give the tree some shape, some room to grow, but it also kind of gives the lemon tree a little bit of room to grow. So there's a bit more of a gap here now, but it really is kind of the only way to get to some of these is to cut off a few of the branches that are in the way to get to them. At some point I'm going to decide to just leave the ones that are there so I'm not cutting too much off the tree, but that's kind of where we are on that one. Let's see, what should we do next? I think next up is fertilizer. We've got rain coming tonight all the way through tomorrow and possibly into Tuesday, and the lawn has not been fertilized in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and use the spreader to get some fertilizer on here. Then I'm going to hit some other stuff that needs general fertilizer. That way I can kind of stay on a weekend program of weekly fertilizing, hopefully. And yeah, let's just get going. Alright, that last part was a little bit crazy. The feeder, first I did the lawn, then I pulled out this device that you attach to the end of the hose, and it's got a shutoff on it, but unfortunately the shutoff's not working very well, so it becomes a real sort of mess trying to run and turn on the faucet, run back so you're not wasting too much of the stuff or watering the wrong thing, putting fertilizer on the wrong. It's just crazy. So, but everything's been watered, I think. And with the rain coming, that'll help kind of push the fertilizer into the plants. That should really, I think we're going to have some good progress next week. But here we are at the end of the week. I think this is as good a wrapping up point as possible. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to wrap up the video here. I may change my schedule to releasing on Sunday or Monday instead of Wednesday. Now that we're kind of into the regular garden, now that all the building is, or the main building is done. I still got to do this garden over here, but for the moment, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, take care of the ones around you, and may your thumb be green.